Guess what time it is?
It's time for small potatoes.
Where we give you a naughty tease of our latest Patreon episode.
Be sure to subscribe. Links are in the description. The girl being stolen from is clearly outraged. Anybody would be to be stolen from, but especially when it's your body that's being used to earn the money, it feels a little more, it feels rapey. Like it feels like you're being really violated. And to know that you're being surrounded by women and one of them is the culprit, the situation can turn very quickly. And one that happened recently is really like, it's concerning on Emily and I's end because not only do we have a thief, but I'm worried about how volatile the situation is going to turn in that moment. And as much as I'd like to say we'll just rush over there, that's not always the way life pans out, and that's not always possible. But you're dealing with a lot of hormones and emotions, and it's up to a manager to handle, and those days get very difficult. I will, give a nod to our management team that do a really good job, but they can really turn this whole spot upside down in like a moment.
Good evening and welcome back to Just the Tip with Riley. Guys, I've missed you. I'm happy to be here, and what a wild ride I have in store for you tonight. Now, before I introduce the topic, let me set the scene for you. You and your partner, or you and your favorite sex worker, are sitting face to face, naked or barely clothed. Hearts racing, no rushing, and no touching, not yet. We're diving into that raw electric act of watching each other touch yourselves while the other is in the director's chair. This evening, gentlemen, we are talking about directed masturbation. It's vulnerable, it's hot, and it's one of the fastest ways to become an expert on what makes her and you explode. Direct masturbation removes the guessing games. It's like getting the cheat codes delivered live. This is the masterclass in your partner's pleasure. This is an incredible tool to get to know exactly what she loves, and on the flip side, demonstrate what drives you wild. So, your wing girl Riley's back, and I want you to put on your director's hat because we're going to start with you in charge. So, let's start the conversation. Clear, but filthy. Tonight, honey, I want to watch you take yourself to the edge, but don't come until I allow you. It's like having a front row seat to porn while going deeper into your dirty talk. Talking is a huge part of this experience. I want you to tell her when to touch herself, how, or even when to incorporate a toy. Toys would be really fun in this experience. Be very observant in how she manipulates her body. These are the mental images you want to keep in the bank. She's teaching you live how she wants to be touched. Once she starts touching herself, watch intently. If this tip isn't enough, subscribe to Patreon for the whole thing.
Yeah, and playing investigator for those situations sucks. It honestly is one of the most defeating feelings. I'm usually pretty excited for most of our Muse challenges or things that come up. It's something's new compared to like our same old routine. But those ones are so hard because first you have to now look at staff that you love suspiciously, like the magnifying glass, and we're like, where were you on the 13th at 9 p.m.? Like, it's bullshit. And again, stems into camera surveillance and all the rules and all those things. Well, one place that we're not supposed to have it even more so is in private changing areas, which includes the staff room, which would be a violation of privacy and so on. It's like, it's a catch-22. And listen, I think for the most part, we don't have lockers for a reason. Nobody steals. And so when someone does come in and they start stealing, it ends up, a couple times reveal the pattern and you can figure it out pretty quickly. No different than if we have a girl that really just doesn't fit in with the team. They kind of rebel. The team gets up in arms about it and they're like, this doesn't match with what we do. And, we're not a full service place. So we're not a drug place. So we don't deal with people with pimps or any scenario that would get the girls kind of up in arms, rightfully so. It comes to light eventually. Light will disinfect the truth. But it's a shitty part of our job because we now have to take this negative tone and become detectives, which we're also, we try, but I'm not a cop, didn't go to cop school. We try to figure it out. And I think 9 times out of 10, we do figure it out, but there are definitely some one-offs where we've made the wrong call. And that's heartbreaking too, because now who did we upset? Someone we really love. It's a shitty old time, all in all. And in my opinion, the former sex worker in me comes out with a rage in these situations because we all do the same things for dirty money. We're all on even playing fields here. I don't agree with stealing from anyone, but I think the last place you should steal from is a coworker, another sex worker's sex money. That is the most fucked up thing. Like, you could die in a gang for doing something like that. You steal drugs, you steal someone else's drugs, kaboom. There you go. And so it's that level of violation and stupidity and arrogance that just rubs me in a way that I try to keep that rage away from business at all costs. I never let Emily show her true feelings when it comes to those things. And that shit will get me every time. Yesterday when we were on the phone and we were kind of talking about some of the chaos, I was kind of quiet. And it's because I was really angry. And it like my vagina was angry hearing some of this, or like catching up on some of the details relayed between management and us and front desk and the girls and whatever. And like, that shit can cause some chaos. And every once in a while, I never condone violence or acting out, but I can't blame someone one time when it happens because that's a volatile situation. And there's only been one time of physical violence at our spa. The girl was fired immediately. Her name rhymes with a precious metal. Yeah. So what I remember is that there had been a theft that day. Everyone decided on shift that it was this one girl. Whether it was true or not, we never got the opportunity to find out. Because someone went up in her face and tried to like square up. And this girl grabbed a water bottle full of water, a 1 liter, and just went kaboom across the head. And everybody froze because we had never even, listen, I worked in the ghetto when I worked for 8 years. I worked in the ghetto in the parlors, and I never saw violence ever of that kind of girl on girl violence. We definitely had a few violent clients, but I'd never seen girls scrappy over anything to do with a penis. I was like, what are we doing? And as soon as I heard about this, a full water bottle, which is a heavy bitch, just went boom across the face, landed in the dryer, and they literally pushed this girl out the back door. And staff were like, she doesn't work here anymore. And they were like, okay, I agree.
Well, and I think a lot of spas, I don't want to say, you know what, I shouldn't comment because I've never worked there, but I think a lot of these shenanigans are a little more common depending on where you work. This is not a common occurrence at Muse. So when it happens, everyone's going crazy. And what I find jarring on our end as the owners is actually yesterday it happened that my phone was ringing on so many different levels and apps that I was like, something's happened because it's all staff. And you know it's bad, but they want instant fixes from you. And I get that, but they have to also understand, like, you need to give me time to speak to Emily. You need to give me time to speak to the manager, to the other parties. Like, they literally think that I have this wand that I'm going to be like, solved. I can't do it. Like, I'm not equipped. It's really frustrating.
Well, and there's certain situations that even looking back on the camera footage doesn't provide an answer. Like, our main concern normally with like camera surveillance is front desk, the front door, the hallway. Let's see where the people are. If there was a confrontation with a customer, it would be at the front of the spa. Like, we're really kind of looking that way. We don't normally have to look within the bubble. And when the bubble's exploding everywhere and shit is flying out of the fan in every direction, when my phone blows up like that, my anxiety immediately puts my heart in my throat and then drops down to my feet. And I freeze for a minute because I'm like, what do we do? Like, what do we do? And every new one is a new challenge, because even if the same subject were to come up again, a girl stealing, a robbery, broken laundry, it's never the same players. It's never the same situation. And we may have think, oh, we've done with this a few times. We know what to do. And then someone else calls and you're like, what the fuck? Like, are you serious? And then we need to be back on the phone. And now we need a new game plan. And like, it just spirals a day. There are gray hairs I have specifically from these scenarios.
And I'll even say, I'm sharing a lot here, and don't hate me. But because there's two of us, there's a lot of balance and exchange of workload. And sometimes Emily handles this and I'll handle something completely different. That when my phone blows up like that, I swear I'm secretly being like, please just call Emily. Don't make it be me today. Not that we don't inform each other and speak about it, but it comes so fast and so furious that there's no, you just know you're fucked for the night. Like, that's it. You're in Museville, and that's where you're staying.
Yeah.